Well, I'm joined now by Laura Blumenfeld, Middle East analyst at Johns Hopkins University. Thank you very much, Laura, for joining us on the programme today. I know you'll have been looking and, like everyone else, trying to work out the sequencing, when it happened and what various parties to this knew and at what time they knew, and what all of that means for relationships within the Middle East and between the US and the Middle East. And let's begin with Qatar, because, they are saying that they are going to completely reassess their role as negotiators. Your thoughts on that, first of all?
Well, I think for Qatar, there are two important points. There are two issues, one's sovereignty and one's surprises. This is the second time that Qatari sovereignty has been violated as a result of the conflict between Israel and the rest of the region. The first time was when Iran retaliated against the U.S. base. That went over with relatively little friction. But this one, they feel like crosses, in their words, a red line. And those words, red line, are significant because last week, when another Gulf nation, the UAE, said that Israel's threat to annex the West Bank crosses a red line, Trump got on the phone with Netanyahu, and clearly that had an impact. Netanyahu pulled back. The question is Israel defiant, or are they willing to listen to the United States? Does anybody have any control at this point over Israel? Netanyahu has said today that although the strike yesterday may not have been successful, they haven't conceded that yet, but that's what the early intelligence reports say. You, Qatar, have to either deport the Hamas leadership, or we will destroy them. They're basically putting out a warning, disarm or we will decapitate Hamas. So I think that's really the next question as we look ahead. The second question of surprises, all important. Did Netanyahu surprise Trump, and did Trump surprise Qatar? Because, of course, all these relationships are based in trust, and there's very little trust to be found. My own 2 cents is I don't think that Trump so much as gave the Israelis a green light. It's more like they just blew those F-35s right through the intersection on their way to Qatar.
And in terms of what the posture of Israel is right now, I guess we look at its action against the Houthis, the Iranian-backed rebel group, the Houthis in Yemen today. And the Houthis have taken action against Israeli assets since October the 7th in support of Palestinians in Gaza. So that tells us something about the posture that Israel is taking at this point in the region.
Absolutely. And if your motto is peace through strength, you can't get sloppy. Again, Trump treasures nothing more than success. So the question still remains, was the Israeli strike yesterday successful, or was it sloppy, and did they miss? As you tick off those countries, whether it's Lebanon, Syria, Yemen, Iran, it sounds like a kind of kaleidoscopic killing. What is the goal here? What Netanyahu is trying to do is reassert deterrence. But if yesterday's strike was a failure, and by the way, the Mossad reportedly was not involved, and they were also not involved on October 7th, then we've come full circle all the way back to this kind of perception of the IDF swinging and missing.
Laura, thank you very much for your analysis. Laura Blumenfeld, Middle East analyst at Johns Hopkins University.